Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Got a new show right here titled Dope Thief. This is episode 1 titled Jolly Ranchers on Apple TV. Lamont, what did you think about the show, sir? This first episode starring Brian Tyree Henry. What did you think? What you think?
I liked it, man. If the story of Robin Hood and Breaking Bad could come together and have a baby and infuse that baby with a little bit of comedy, this would be the show. I enjoyed it. You had some heavy hitters. Ridley Scott, Vic Rames is all involved in this project. I had fun with the first episode.
Okay, that's interesting. You also said some comedy. I gotta really know what you're talking about there. I'm assuming it has to be with Brian Tyree Henry and all of his banter as he's trying to make jokes while they're kicking in doors and pistol whipping people. But we're going to see. I'll be honest with you, man. This episode barely did it for me. It barely did it for me. I struggled with this first episode. I was on board because I was like, you know what, I haven't at least covered that much Apple TV before. I know it's very popular and I want to expand my horizon. And I like Brian Tyree Henry. I'm a big fan of this man's work. He was one of the Eternals in one of the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I like that one. Also, of course, I know him as Paperboy from Atlanta a number of years ago on the FX television show. And so anything with him, I'm going to show up for. And I just really wasn't liking this episode, man. I tried to watch this first episode like 2 or 3 times. I kept getting to the 20 and 30 minute mark and it was just losing my attention. But we were going to shoot this recap, this review. And I was like, I got to push through. And I did not get on board until the very end where they got up to the barn and they went in here and tried to steal all the stuff. Robin Hood, like you say, and the crap hit the fan. That's when I was like, okay, now the story has started. Now I'm in the nitty gritty. I want to know how this is going to play out. And now at that point in time, I was really intrigued. I was engaged. Now, if y'all don't know what this show is about, based on Dennis Tafoya's book, Dope Thief, the series follows longtime Philly friends and delinquents who pose as DEA agents to rob an unknown house in the countryside, only to have their small-time grift become a life and death enterprise, as they unwittingly reveal and unravel the biggest hidden narcotics corridor on the eastern seaboard. So when I read that, Lamont, and I knew that Brian Tyree Henry was attached, and then it's on Apple, Ridley Scott, who's hit or miss, Ving Rhames, like you said, I was like, oh man. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is a miss, bro. So for me, if it wasn't for the end, man, I would have been like, let's abandon ship. We tried, but it ain't working for me. So, but you disagree. You feel the opposite, huh?
Well, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you that the last 15 minutes is what made the entire episode. I slugged through the first about 30 minutes, just letting everything build up, letting the narrative get set, letting everybody get in their places and try to understand why these two guys, Manny and Ray, are doing what they're doing. And once it got to the point where they met the muscle that the person Rick, the guy they thought was going to be their muscle, and he's saying, we need to get out of Philly and go to Ottsville, PA. That's when it started to pick up. And then it paid off what was going on in the beginning. So if it didn't have the last 15 minutes, I wouldn't have liked it either. But the last 15 minutes is what helped make the first part better.
I got you. Something that I'm also struggling with, man, is the two leads that we have. I mean, it's just hard for me to root for them. I don't really care about the characters. They're not that honorable. They're not that noble. I mean, they're going around taking candy from a baby and, it's just like, that's just not cool. What, I should feel sorry for them?
Whoa.
Go ahead.
Like I said, this is Robin Hood had a baby with Breaking Bad and infused a little comedy. So we don't know what the situation is for Manny, other than he's got a very beautiful girlfriend who's moving in with him. They had a housewarming, but we got a lot of the issues with Ray. First of all, Ray was depressed. Ray was alcoholic. He got into a car accident when he was high and lost his sweetheart So that sent him into depression, being drunk all the time. And now the lady that raised him, his mama, who has a potty mouth like I've never seen before, is having some kind of health illness. They can barely make it. And instead of robbing banks, they're actually robbing the bad guys. And so I can understand them doing that. I'd rather them rob the bad guys than to go rob a bank. I'd rather them not rob anybody. But we know how sometimes American capitalism can do people, and it seems like these guys been caught in the thrust of that. So I can see why they have this plight.
I mean, they're doing what they have to do to survive. I mean, that's one thing. But I felt that Manny was really trying to justify their actions in the episode by saying, we're doing the city a favor. These are bad guys. They're poisoning the city. I don't know, man. I mean, these are little kids. You know, like half the cast that was getting the dough kicked in, you know, was underage. There was minors born into this. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but I mean, they just seemed like they were holier than thou. And I just didn't like that. And also Ray, man, the man is desperate. Okay, Manny said to himself that this is just a side hustle. This does not control me or dictate my life, etc. Mind you that this is his only part of income right now. But Ray is not smart. The man is desperate. I mean, like, bro, there is no reason why, if I am doing a job like this, to where I am just going to trust somebody random that I, had a cell with in prison or jail at once upon a time, and we was beating each other up to make it worse, hitting each other in the head with shovels and stuff. And so, you're just going to trust him and be like, hey, this is what we do. It's all about the command voice. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm doing, and Manny told him at the end of your reconnaissance sucks. And that was funny. So I'll give you the comedy thing there. But no, man, Ray, he just, he's too, this is a dangerous job. You have to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed. And he just a little bit too lax for me, with this lifestyle, and it's going to end up getting him killed. And I just can't get behind that. So that's just, I mean, I don't, go ahead.
Rick basically said that if they keep robbing people in the city of Philly, they would get killed. Yeah. And that's why they moved the operation out to the outskirts, which to me was a smarter move if Ray would have done better reconnaissance.
Yeah.
His reconnaissance skills sucks. He need to go have a class with Reacher, okay? Yeah. His reconnaissance skills was terrible. And the thing about these two guys is they're not really killers. And in the way the people and the type of folks they're robbing, I don't want to say you got to have a killer's mentality, but you can't be someone who cares about human life the way these two do. And they do obviously care about human life, which is why they got in that pickle at the very end of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, to me, right on. When they were at the first house at the very beginning of the episode, and I think, was his name Ronald or Ronnie, the little boy that came down the stairs? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie. Ronald.
That should have been a red flag right there for me to be like, okay, we need to chill and sit our asses down. We almost blew away an 8-year-old over a few $1,000s. They didn't even get 4,200, bro. I don't know if it was just a house full of ones, and maybe so. I mean, it was a corner boy, so it's not like, well, we don't got to get into all that. But now that I think about it, it makes sense that it was that much money in there. But that should have been an indicator right there, like, okay, this is not a life that we need to live when we almost blew this little kid away. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. They wouldn't be able to live with themselves. It's just tragic. It's really tragic. How do you feel about the relationship with his mom or stepmom or whoever the lady of his late father?
She was funny. Her name is Teresa. Anybody that knows my TV viewing know that I tend to fall in love with these older mama figures because of the way I was raised by my grandma. But she is a trip. And she's going through some health issues, and she's kind of aware that he's making money in a way that's not good. And she just had me laughing when she was talking about take the dog out and clean up the shit, and just cussing him out like a French sailor. Do you hear me? I was like, lady, if that's the way she raised him, you can easily see why he's veered into the direction that he's going. But I'm wondering what's going to happen to him. Will he spiral out of control? Speaking of Ray, will he spiral out of control again if whatever this health illness takes mom out because he couldn't get the funds or use the funds that he has to pay for her services? Because you just can't, like she said in this episode, B, you can't just walk up to the hospital and hand them $10,000 in cash, because anytime a transaction over $9,000 is done anywhere, it's going to be scrutinized. And so I'm hoping, no, it's 9. And so, I don't know if she's going to make it or not. If I had to put money on, I think she's going to kick the bucket.
What do you think the illness is? Cancer or something else? I mean, it could be anything. But
most likely cancer. Probably cancer, man. It just seems like that is just something that afflicts so many people, more so than what we hear about with heart attacks and some of the other things. It's probably cancer.
And I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't mention, we're talking spoilers over here. So if you haven't seen the episode, you don't want to be spoiled. It's probably too late now. But yeah, turn away. And I'm sorry that we didn't warn you ahead of time. Lamont, she was very honest too. She was like, hey, your daddy's not coming home. I was like, damn. So did the daddy die, or did the daddy just not come back?
Ray was talking about the father later on in the episode, and he went to jail. Now, I don't know if he's dead now, but he went to jail. And that's kind of how he got with the dad's girlfriend, which is Teresa. Yeah. So I don't know if he's still in jail now or dead, but he went to jail and was raised by Teresa.
True. She was not, got him a nice little birthday present with some money and a little cake, and that was all nice and sweet and cute too. And you are right laughing about this dog and the shit and stuff like this. But you mentioned it earlier briefly. He did get into an accident when he was younger, and that most likely killed his boo thing. Seemed like there was vibing quite nice. This could have been a high school sweetheart, the first woman he ever loved, in more ways than one. They was getting high together, man. I wonder who he was passing the blunt to in present day. In the past, he was passing it to her. But he is clearly hurt by this, man. And I can't wait to dive into that, to get to know his character a little bit more, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm not really in love with him right now. But it seemed like this may be a story element that may strengthen his character quite a bit. I'm looking forward to it. What say you, sir? What say you?
Oh, 100%. I can't wait to hear more about Mars. Mars actually looked like the Mars chocolate bar, her fine chocolate self. Yes. And she had a gymnastics career. She looked like she was on her way to doing things. And the way he spiraled out of control, started drinking, had to check himself in the AAU, it makes me wonder, is he still blaming himself for what happened? Probably to some degree, because he keeps having those flashbacks. And when you have someone that you care about that much, and it never seems like you're able to take your relationship to the height that you want to see it go to, you always have questions. And I'm sure that's something that obviously is still haunting him. And maybe throughout the end of this show and the series, he'll find somebody else that he can, I don't want to say replace Mars, but someone else that can fill that void of love that he's missing.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a void there. I want him to win. Manny has somebody, like you said earlier, she moved in. She is quite nice. Sherry, I like her. Yeah. By the name of Liz Caribel Sierra. I am not too familiar with her, but I will be now. Are you a fan of hers, Lamont? Do you know her from any previous types of titles, or is this your first time?
This is my first time, but she get a nickname, buddy.
Really?
Sexy Sherry. She get a nickname. All right. I'm going to change that to Sensational Sexy Sherry. You get a nickname, my sister.
Right on. Gotta love the nicknames over here. Those are quite fun. And also, Miss Marietta, her name is Casey Wall. Was it Wall? How you say this? Wall. It's not that hard to spell, but I'm having a hard time pronouncing it. But here she is right here.
Don't get me butchering her name. Don't get me butchering her name. I don't want to butcher it, but Mars is the perfect name for her because she is chocolate that is edible. Beautiful sister, great acting. I want to see more. I'm like B. Avery. I want to see more of her in this show. So the only way we're going to get that is if we have to dive into the crevices of Raymond's brain to kind of flesh out kind of what relationship they had prior to her untimely demise.
Yeah. Do you like Jolly Ranchers, by the way?
I used to as a kid, and considering that was the title of this episode, I was wondering how that would relate to a story about two buffoons trying to steal from crooked people. And boom, Manny gives him Jolly Ranchers for his birthday. Oh, what a great friend.
What a great friend. Hopefully they remain friends, but I don't know. This whole relationship go to crap because it's based on a true story in 2021. And I'm not going to look it up because I want to be surprised. Yeah, this is based on a true story, I believe.
Do you like Jolly Ranchers, B.A.B.? And if so, what was your favorite?
The red one. And yeah, I love Jolly Ranchers still to this day. If I had a Jolly Rancher right here on the desk, I would eat it. You know, because they're delicious.
My favorite was green apple.
I have to go get me some because the Jolly Ranchers are the truth. The suckers too. Jolly Ranchers are fire. You know, actually, something that I did like, man, is the therapy session that Ray was in. He really broke it down as far as, you know, a lot of his backstory and, you know, what he does and what he doesn't do and things of that nature. I wish I could play it for you guys right now, but that was a nice touching scene. I think everybody should go through some type of therapy and, you know, revisit their past and all that stuff. So that was a positive scene. Did that, you know, do anything for you at all?
I'm a huge advocate of therapy. I'm a huge advocate of you going to some kind of meeting group where you can share stories and build inspiration and motivation amongst each other because you've had the same battles you dealt with. So I'm a huge proponent of therapy. And I think that we all should sometimes just take a look at ourselves and figure out what it is about us that we need to talk to someone about and get a professional opinion from someone who can understand our situation based on their education. So I enjoyed it too, man. I really did. I thought that kind of helped me get more invested in his character along with the stuff that happened to Mars.
I got you. Yeah, because they were kind of cutting back and forth, you know, all together, you know, with the therapy, him at home with a record plan and, you know, black and white photos of her. But Lamont, man, why didn't they abort this mission? I mean, they made us try to sympathize with Ray with all these flashbacks and music and therapy and stuff. But I mean, man, this dude is getting high 5 minutes before the job. Simple instructions with the radio. Y'all ready to go? Fuck yeah. He actually screamed in the car. He was like, man, what's wrong with you? Quiet down. It's like they were both like, Manny was looking at him like, are we really about to do this? Go in here and run up in here with no information at all. And Ray was just completely oblivious to the situation. We got to get the money. We got to get the money. I mean, man, that research reconnaissance sucked. He spent 10, 15 minutes outside. He followed that white lady to the corner store. She got some propane tanks. Notice she was in distress. She was crying. And she did not want to be there, Lamont. She did not want to be there. I know you know where I'm getting at this, but still, bro. You got to be pretty desperate, bro, to continue this job, and your partner is snorting whatever the hell 2 feet away from you, man. Would you have aborted, or would you have kept going with the mission?
Well, first of all, in their situation, I probably would have had aborted, and let's regroup. And if we're going to go to this same house, let's come with a clear head. And let's do better reconnaissance. The only reconnaissance that Ray had on the house was that it was prone to blow up like the 4th of July. Dude, you got to do better than that. You need to know how many people is in there. Hell, you needed to know if it's a damn German Shepherd in the house. Because if that dog wasn't nice and trying to get his ass out the burning house, that dog could have been a problem too.
Yeah. I think he should have did some research for like weeks or something. But keep going.
Right. You should have done some research, but he didn't. And I think that considering the situation with his quote unquote mom, considering all the head trauma he's personally going through, his dad is in prison. His dad, you should throw him in the closet when he did drugs. He's lost Mars. I just think that Ray is not thinking with a clear head either.
Well, you make a good argument. I can't really, push back right there. So, you're going to make me switch over to your side here in a second. But yeah, man, the crap hits the fan. It's just like, how did you end up shooting the guy in the back of the head? And man, like, wow, I would have felt better about it. They had a dog in there. The dog broke free and that scared him, and that made him shoot. Or the dog broke out and bit him in the leg. He just over there, bam. It's crazy, frustrating. And Manny, the look Manny had on his face was like, what the F are we doing here? I knew it. I knew I should be in bed clapping cheeks right now with my new roommate, but I'm over here. Go ahead. What was you about to say?
Man, look, man. Manny and Ray, you got to do a better screening process. You can't just go get some damn shade tree jailbird. Yeah. You should have put him through a rigorous test to see if he can handle a gun.
That is crazy.
Dude was shaking the whole time. When Ray told him no shooting at anybody, I said, that's it. Yeah. Somebody about to get shot up. And lo and behold, he got shot. He shot Redneck Redhead. Then Jack pops out, gets shot. Jack shot Ray. It just turned into a shootout at the old corral. Yeah. And the dog said, fuck this. I'm getting up out of here. Yeah. The smartest person in the room was the German Shepherd. I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. What was in those bottles, that yellow liquid? I'm assuming it had to be some type of drugs or narcotic, but like, what the F was it? What do you think?
Man, you got me on that one. I have no idea what's in those bottles, man. You saw Manny. Manny was when all this went down. Manny was saying we need to go, while Ray was saying no, we need to find the money. Ray go upstairs get the money. Manny's down there taking boxes of drugs. So they've got dope. They in there doing meth. Literally all the redneck drugs you can think of. It might even be moonshine, B. Avery, in those bottles for all we know. Because if you ever go to some old redneck house in the country, they definitely going to have meth. They definitely going to have some moonshine. So maybe that's what's in those bottles, some of that good old country peach moonshine. And yes, folks, I am from Aden, North Carolina, the deep country.
Already. Lamont, is it worth it though? Look, what would you have done in the situation? Because I'm on the fence. Ray was like, hey man, we got these bodies on our hand. We can't leave empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? We got to at least get 20, 30,000. Now they end up getting over $400K plus some drugs. So they got their money's worth. But they got 3 bodies. Somebody's going to come looking for it. Do you take the money? But do you just take the L? Leave the money, leave the drugs, because if you leave it, most likely nobody's going to come looking for you. I mean, they may, but they may like, well, they did F up my facility, but they left the drugs. Let me not, expose myself by chasing them. I still got my goods. What I'm asking is, would you have taken the money or left it so nobody has to chase you?
I would have took some of the money. I ain't even gonna say. I mean, I'm with Ray. We didn't come all the way out here for nothing. I would not have took the drugs. Okay. Would not have took the drugs. Yeah. But I would have dipped my hand in that cookie jar, B. Avery. I mean, like I said, this is Robin Hood meets Breaking Bad, and they infused the baby with some comedy. I would have took some of that. I would have grabbed me a Food Line plastic bag. I would have took me a whole couple of handfuls of stacks. I would have got about $200,000 of that $427,614. Yeah. Left the drugs and made sure I didn't leave no damn evidence, man. Come on, y'all. Come on. You
left the
gotta do better than
radio.
that.
Yeah, left the radio, threw the other radio out.
B,
Like, man, come on.
they burnt the house, okay?
Yeah.
They went house party on us. Burning house, okay? The burning house. And they couldn't even halfway get that done right, BA, because I guess the goal was to hopefully burn the bodies up so bad that they be beyond recognition.
Exactly.
But whoever this mysterious man was wearing the black gloves, and when people wear black gloves, ladies and gentlemen, it's usually not because it's cold. And hit them on the walkie-talkies and said he knew B. Avery that these are not police level walkie-talkies.
Right. Yeah, I like
and then
it.
Manny further elaborates and says, you got to be within a half a mile for these things to work.
Right. Yeah.
Which means he was telling them, B. Avery.
You know who that was in the black gloves, right?
Vic Rames?
No, man, it was Dr. Claw.
Oh,
Funny joke. Stupid joke.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. Dr. Claw.
B, you might need to explain. Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Claw is the villain from Inspector Gadget from the 80s or 90s,
Yeah.
and they always showed his hand
Right.
like this, and so corny joke,
Yeah.
yeah, my bad.
You got to be a geek. You got to be an 80s and 90s baby to get that. I got it. It for sure.
Right.
Because I used to watch Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. I think they actually showed him eventually at one point in time. But you're right, man. I definitely wouldn't have took the drugs because I don't even know what it is. I don't know how to move it. I do like the fact that they were really honest with each other. Like, man, we ain't nothing, man. We ain't SHIT. We ain't drug dealers. We ain't pushers. We ain't killers. We ain't cops. We nothing, man. And we ain't been about nothing until now. And that's how the episode ended. But that voice over the phone, man, they're not effing around. They are not effing around. And also, Lamont, they was trying to burn up the body so they couldn't identify him. I agree with that. But how did the lady survive? Because she woke up, passed out, survived. And not only that, man, she's a cop. She is an agent. And she wrote on her pad, if I die, don't F me. What is going on, man? What is going on?
See, that was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny, man. You got to admit that. I was like, no, this chick didn't. Of all things you could say on your potential deathbed, you said, if I die, don't. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's still a lot. It's still a lot to dive into. I got questions, man. She lived. She's an agent. What agency? What bureau is this? Is this the FBI or maybe it's the CIA? I don't know, or maybe some organization you never heard of.
She might realistically be DEA.
Okay, DEA. Are all those cops in the house, are they all dirty? They don't really seem, that too clean cut, man. It seems like they be doing a lot of back end stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, man. They started a war, Lamont. A war with who? What is going to happen? Tune in for the next episode of. No, I'm joking, but no, real talk, man. Like this is crazy. The crap really hit the fan, man. What's up with all these agents and stuff? What they about?
Like the synopsis said, this is a international crime ring.
Yes.
And obviously redhead, her real name is Mina on the show, was working with Jack because when they was talking to her, she asked about Jack. So I think it's safe to assume Jack is a DEA agent too, and he's dead. He done kicked the bucket, ladies. They done called the paddy wagon for his ass. He's done. Stick a fork in him. Yeah. But she's alive. She's gonna survive. And something tells me, for some odd reason, B. Avery, she's probably gonna wind up teaming up with Ray and Manny and helping them out. So you're gonna have the two-man, one-woman tag team. Ray, Manny, Mina.
Ray, Manny, Mina. That's interesting. Like I said, Lamont, I wasn't feeling the episode until the end, man. Now I'm drawn in and I want to know what's going to happen next. I got to at least watch episode 2. Are you liking the show enough for us to recap episode 2?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Definitely. Ooh. I think it's going to pick up.
Okay.
And for those that do follow Apple TV hardly ever misses. I mean, hardly. I've watched a bunch of shows on Apple TV. They might start out as a slow burn, but they tend to pick up pretty quick. If there's two networks I can always count on for having quality shows, it is HBO Max and it is Apple TV.
Yes, yes. These are facts. These are facts. So, Lamont, what are your final thoughts, man? Or is there anything that we discussed that I left out that you want to go over real quick?
Nah, man, you hit every point. We want to know more about the mysterious hand. And for those that didn't know, on the post credits, if you stay and listen, the performer doing the song is Philadelphia Freeway, who is actually from Philly. That used to be down with Rock, Jay-Z, and Beanie Siegel. That was Philadelphia Freeway. Shout out to Ridley Scott for not giving up on his DEI in his shows.
Right on, right on. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to wrap it up for our recap review of Dope Thief, episode 1, titled Jolly Ranchers. We really do appreciate it. We will be here same place, same time for episode 2. So make sure you subscribe to not only Lamont's channel, but my channel as well. We will both really appreciate it. Also, you can follow us on social media. Our handles are on the screen, and also Lamont's information is in the description box of this video. I do have other reviews on my channel as well, like The Fire Inside, Nickel Boys, Exhibiting Forgiveness, Sing Sing that I did do with Lamont, and also we covering Reacher, we covered Paradise, we are covering Power, and also Daredevil. So there's a lot of wonderful things that you can check out on our channel. But guys, again, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget, I'm B. Avery, that's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe. Yeah.